The Netflix boardroom, a place of hushed intensity, recently echoed with a name that sent shivers through the highest ranks. It wasn't the name of a new hit show or a rising star, but a figure some insiders have started whispering about as Meghan Markle. Forget dramatic. The reality unfolding between this individual and Netflix is a slow-motion PR implosion, and the fallout is scattering in every direction. The golden ticket gone sour. Rewind a moment. Her initial deal with Netflix was hailed as a golden ticket, a chance for creative freedom and ultimate narrative control. But what began as a modern fairy tale is now unraveling at a speed that would make your head spin. Her contract? Done. Over. Cancelled after September. The decision wasn't delivered subtly either. Netflix's top brass, Greg Peters and Ted Sarandos, reportedly laid it out cold. There will be no renewal. Zero. Zilch. And since that bombshell dropped, she's been spiraling in a way few could predict. When most public figures face such a monumental career shift, they either retreat or quietly pivot. But not her. No, she's decided to slam the accelerator in the exact opposite direction. She's reportedly orchestrating what can only be described as a chaotic social media comeback tour. And we're not talking about filtered selfies with inspirational quotes. We're talking about a full-blown, meticulously choreographed, music-backed campaign video designed to call out Hollywood itself. That alone sounds wild, but believe me, it gets far more intense. This mystery video, the one supposedly even more problematic than her infamous pregnancy clip, was initially blocked by Netflix because she was still under contract. But that didn't stop her. According to whispers from deep within the industry, she's been working on this behind closed doors the entire time. Writing, filming, even editing. She allegedly brought in her own songwriting team to whip up a track aimed squarely at misogyny, sexism, and toxic masculinity. Imagine this: 3 minutes of pure social justice theater, featuring her and her inner circle dressed up as stereotypical Hollywood male executives. Think suits, slicked-back hair, fake cigars, the whole caricature. But here's the truly jaw-dropping part. A significant portion of this video was reportedly shot inside Netflix headquarters. Yes, you heard that correctly. Without a shred of permission. Apparently, she just strolled into one of the studios, decked out like a cigar-chomping executive, and started performing hip-hop choreography with a briefcase in hand. No clearance, no heads up, just pure defiance and a dash of apparent delusion. Netflix only discovered this outrageous stunt after the footage began circulating through internal chats like a viral meme. And let's just say, the legal department is beyond not amused. But it doesn't end there. Netflix's legal team has already reached out, issuing stern warnings against releasing the footage. Yet, her team, unbelievably, is reportedly doubling down. Word is they've already set a September drop date, precisely when her contract officially expires, as one last ultimate gesture of defiance to the Hollywood machine. They're even said to be contacting press outlets, trying to hype it up like some edgy indie film. But let's be blunt. This isn't edgy. It's reckless. And frankly, it borders on embarrassing. Consider the timing. Her last major viral moment, that infamous pregnancy video, already left many questioning her judgment. Whether it was real, staged, years old, or shot last Tuesday in her backyard, that clip triggered a massive backlash. People were confused, critics were brutal, and even some of her most ardent supporters were left speechless. Now, she's attempting to top that with a parody of Hollywood execs, filmed on property she had no right to be on. That's not a calculated comeback, that's pure career sabotage. Sources inside Netflix are reporting they are this close to pulling the plug on the remaining reshoots for her lifestyle show. With love, Meghan. That's hours of expensive footage, potentially headed straight into the trash simply because she couldn't resist filming a TikTok rebellion in their own building. At this point, the entire situation has less to do with creativity or control and everything to do with blatant defiance. Ted Sarandos, a man who has witnessed his fair share of Hollywood absurdities during his reign at Netflix, is reportedly left speechless by this latest stunt. Not because it was bold or revolutionary, but because it was downright baffling. You have one of the most polarizing public figures on your payroll, already teetering on thin ice, and she decides to moonwalk across it in tap shoes. The atmosphere inside Netflix HQ regarding this whole mess is reportedly one of utter exasperation. One executive reportedly called it a masterclass in how to burn bridges while simultaneously setting the entire river on fire. Apparently, the true breaking point wasn't just the unauthorized shoot itself, but the sheer absurdity of what she performed in that footage. In one leaked clip allegedly making the internal rounds, she's seen stomping down a hallway in a pantsuit, puffing on a cigar prop, barking orders at her friends playing assistants. The whole thing is cut like a mock music video. Flashing lights, exaggerated facial expressions, impromptu dance breaks, and lyrics reportedly calling out "old white suits choking dreams." It's supposedly a powerful feminist statement, but Netflix sees something far different. A legal nightmare wrapped in a public relations disaster. To say they are furious would be a monumental understatement. The legal team at Netflix reportedly sent a letter that, according to someone close to the situation, didn't leave a single inch of room for misinterpretation. It meticulously outlined why she cannot use footage filmed on Netflix premises, cited the specific contract clauses she violated, and explicitly laid out potential legal action if she moves forward. Yet, her camp is reportedly pressing ahead, planning the full rollout as if nothing happened. They've got editors assembling teaser clips, pitching stories to journalists. One even reached out to a popular gossip site, brazenly asking if they'd cover her daring strike against the Hollywood machine. People close to the situation suggest she genuinely believes she's orchestrating her own formation moment, convinced this video will be her reclamation of power, her reinvention, her bold step back into cultural dominance. But to everyone else watching, it's giving something closer to a very public meltdown, especially given how incredibly desperate it all looks. Behind the scenes, her team has been quietly reaching out to casting directors, agents, even second-tier streaming platforms, desperately trying to secure her next major project. But every door keeps slamming shut. Executives simply don't want to touch her. One producer reportedly quipped, "She brings drama without the ratings." Studios see the headlines, the potential lawsuits, the relentless noise, and they run. And her current social media push certainly isn't helping. The pregnancy video was enough to send PR teams into a frenzy. This new video, with her seemingly mocking the very system she's still trying to gain validation from, only deepens the disconnect. There's also serious talk that Netflix might pull the plug entirely on the remaining footage from her show. With love, Meghan. It was never a runaway hit, but it had enough internal support to warrant a second season. Now, that goodwill is evaporating fast. One source claims the reshoots are on life support, and if she doesn't back down, they'll pull the plug completely. That means hours of already shot content. Gone, deleted, millions of dollars wasted. And here's the bitter irony. She could have walked away quietly. She could have blamed creative differences, rebranded, and smoothly transitioned. Instead, she's choosing chaos. The kind of chaos that doesn't just end contracts, it can end entire careers. This isn't a protest, It's a public self-immolation broadcast in real time, complete with filters and hashtags. Hollywood forgives a lot, but what it absolutely does not forgive is being mocked by someone who still desperately wants a seat at the table, especially when that table belongs to the very studio you just snuck into for a guerrilla TikTok shoot. Her team is clearly betting on controversy to maintain relevance, but even her closest allies are starting to raise eyebrows. One publicist who once worked with her quietly admitted, "I think she's lost the room." Behind closed doors, some of the very people who once championed her are actively distancing themselves, silently removing her from pitch decks, skipping her name in meetings, or simply ghosting her calls. It's not about fear of backlash, it's sheer exhaustion. There's a palpable fatigue building around everything she touches. Every project feels like it comes with an expiration date the moment her name is attached. People remember the podcast that fizzled, the children's book that barely made a ripple, the Spotify fallout, the endless legal feuds. And now, this rogue campaign video that feels less like empowerment and more like performance art gone terribly wrong. Insiders at Netflix openly joke that even the interns know about the Meghan tape now. It's become an underground meme in the office, with some calling it Suits the Musical. Others just shake their heads and sigh, "Only Meghan." It's not just about what she did, it's about the bewildering confidence with which she did it. Like she genuinely believed Netflix would applaud her for storming their space and parodying their leadership. That level of delusion isn't just rare, it's radioactive. What ultimately sealed the deal wasn't just the outrageous footage, but the attitude that followed. Sources say her team responded to Netflix's legal warnings with smug replies, almost daring the platform to escalate it into a bigger story. They clearly view any publicity, even legal threats, as fuel. And while that might work for TikTok influencers chasing shock value, it absolutely does not sit well in an industry where reputation is currency. You simply cannot insult the gatekeepers and expect them to hand you the keys afterward. As the clock ticks down to September, Netflix is preparing its final, definitive response. Legal options are being drafted, PR strategies are being reviewed, and if she uploads that video, even for 5 minutes, they are ready to pounce. Not because they're threatened, but because they want to make an example. To send an unequivocal message that not even a royal title grants you the right to breach contracts and clown a company on your way out. For her, this could be the moment that irrevocably defines her Hollywood legacy. Not as a trailblazer, not as a media disruptor, but as the figure who blew up her own second act in a blaze of selfies, ill-conceived stunts, and chaotic sound bites. Because at the end of the day, even the loudest messages fall completely flat when no one is left to listen. And in her case, the profound silence after all this noise might just be the loudest, most telling chapter yet.